Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome to Practically Tactical. We are live. This is our live show streaming to you on YouTube. You can catch all of our shows on iTunes in a podcast format. Drops usually every Sunday. We have an awesome show for you guys tonight. We have an awesome dude. I got for everybody out there. He's kind of quiet, so you may have to sit really close to your speakers. He's a pretty reserved guy. Um, we have Matt DeVito from Downrange Firearms Training. How's it going, man? Thanks for coming on.
Hey, man, thanks for having me on.
No, thanks for coming on. So for all you guys out there that aren't familiar with Matt, I got links below to all of his social media and website, so you can go check that out here. He's really, really good at making friends on the internet. So
People love me.
we had a great discussion about the flashbang bras on Instagram.
That we did.
But for everybody out there, the chat is up and going. So if you got any questions for Matt or any subjects that we hit on, we're going to be talking some gun shop etiquette. We're going to be talking about Matt and his training philosophy. He's also from the East Coast, from one of the banned states. So we're going to be talking about that as well. Really interesting show tonight. So put your questions in the chat or the Google Q&A app, and we'll hit on those. Also, if you could hit that like and share button on the videos, it would really help us spread the show around YouTube. So I don't got any more announcements, so I guess we'll lock the doors. Valhalla, it's a good day to die, and start the show. Sound good?
Sounds good to me.
All right, here we go. Man, I'm still recovering from water park Ebola. Sorry. Welcome to Practically Tactical, episode 64, brought to you by the Firearms Radio Network. The Practically Tactical show is a slightly more practical approach to the firearms lifestyle. The show features a roundtable discussion about guns, gear, and shooting with some of the best firearms instructors and figures in the firearms industry. So, Matt, I can officially say that you've made it now. For more information on the show, links to our guests, guns, and gear we discuss, please visit practicalpodcast.com/064. I have an awesome episode for you guys tonight with a really awesome dude. We have on Matt DeVito from Downrange Firearms Training. Going to be talking a whole bunch of gun shop etiquette, some news, banned states, and something we have not done in a long time. We're going to be playing Whose Gun Line Is It Anyways? I know you guys love that segment out there, so we're going to be doing it. But Matt, hey dude, thanks for coming on today. Really appreciate getting to talk to you and getting you on the show.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Thanks for having me. I'm stoked. I haven't done a podcast in a while, and when you offered it up, I jumped at it, so I'm stoked.
I'm so ready. You just have this natural way of talking with people online that I think is it's really gonna come through the podcast listeners and those watching on YouTube. That I think we're gonna make a lot of friends tonight on the internet.
Yeah, I agree. I think we'll get a lot of positive feedback, I think.
Yes, that's one word for it. But real quick before we start the show, I just want to remind everybody out there that's watching on YouTube or listening on podcast. I want to mention and invite you guys to come on to our EDC April. So all 5 shows that we record Wednesday nights at 8 p.m. Central on YouTube here that will go on to podcast, I'm inviting all of our listeners and watchers to come on the show and talk about your EDC. We're going to have a firearms trainer on each week, and we'll be discussing every person's EDC, maybe get some feedback, where you're going, where you're carrying, and just get some good feedback, and we'll discuss related EDC topics. We have on a whole mishmash of awesome guests coming on each week. We have Jeff Bluevman, we have Aaron Cowan, we have Brandon LaBeouf, we have William Petty, we have one more, and Aaron from Solo Defense. We have all these guys coming on different weeks, discuss EDCs. So if you guys want to come on the show, please email me, nick@farmsradio.tv. Pick 2 Wednesday nights that you could come on the show. Email them to me, and we'll try to get you guys on the show. So that's all I have for our show notes. But I do want to jump into a segment of our operator's report here. Not going to talk a whole lot on this, Matt, but I kind of want to get your kind of feedback of this whole situation. So obviously the ATF came out, wanted to ban green tip ammo. Now they've said, for now, I emphasize that, hey, we're going to leave it alone. And what's kind of your take on this on this whole situation that the ATF started and banned and unbanned, and then they didn't publish it in the report, and all this crazy mess that happened with it?
Dude, I honestly, I don't even know. I don't even know where to begin with that. I mean, it's, I've worked in the firearms industry for a while, and yeah, before all that, I worked in a gun shop, and I've seen the trends. I saw when Obama first got elected, all the craziness. I saw when Sandy Hook happened, all the craziness. Last year, something, and it's funny, something that nobody's talking about is last year when the ATF banned the Russian 545 ammo.
Yeah.
And again, it's one of those things where people are like, oh, I don't have an AK, I don't have a 545, so meh, it happens. And people let it happen. There was no outrage, and same thing happened with the 855. And because a lot more people have ARs, there's a lot more outrage with it. It's unfortunate. Maybe they'll decide to bring the 545 ammo back, but it's just craziness. I mean, I worked a gun show this past weekend, and the gun shop I work with, we were selling green tip ammo for 55 cents a round. And the reason why we were selling it for 55 cents a round was because our distributors went up probably about $75 to $100 on our cost of the ammo alone. So, we were selling it for 45 cents a round the week before, and our costs went up. So our margin was the same. But there were dudes that were selling ammo for 85 and 90 cents a round. And, you're not doing anybody a favor. You're being a scumbag. Everybody knows what you paid for it. So it's just, it's craziness, man.
No, I think that was like obviously myself and a lot of other people put out videos on the banned and the unbanned and this whole craziness. But there were all the AK-74 guys were, you can tell, a little pissed because they're like, where was this for the 7.6N ammo?
Yep.
And I totally get it too. I would say I was probably guilty of that too, of not really doing my part in that ammo stuff. So I think the good thing here is maybe next go around, because there's going to be another go around from how I interpret the ATF's letter, is I think people are going to be a little more involved and a little more on top of any sort of ammo bans. That's kind of how I see it, at least a positive out of it. Other than still keeping the green tips.
Yeah, and I mean, even then, you said Aaron Cohen from Sage Dynamics. Aaron's a friend of mine, and his Facebook status today was, congratulations, 80,000 people signed the thing. There's way more people in the country that own an AR-15 than 80,000. And, you want to share it on Facebook and talk about it, around the water cooler at work and stuff like that, but, 80,000 is a pretty pathetic showing, if you ask me, compared to the numbers of people that own guns and own AR-15s in general. So
yeah, well, kind of related subject, and we'll hit on it is, I think somebody Arturo, a listener of the show, had emailed it in to me of some recent study supposedly mentions that gun ownership is down. There's only like 34.5 million guns in the United States from some survey. I mean, which of course, if anybody calls me and says, "Do you have guns in your house?" I'm gonna say no. I mean, people aren't number one that forthcoming. But again, even if let's say only half of that number is true, it's 16 million, which of course I think it's over 100 million. That's still only like 80,000 of 16 million.
Yep.
Which is, I would say, unfortunately, is correct that 80,000 comments just does not cut it.
Yeah. Yep.
Because I mean, the first thing it'll be is ammo ban, and then the next will be something else. Which actually we'll save the rest of that part because we'll get into that of the ban state stuff.
All right.
But we're gonna move on to main statement here. So Matt, what's kind of your history? So we'll say pre-Mohawk. Where did you grow up? What's your history and what's your status?
Born and raised in Boston, Mass. I went to school out there, spent basically the better part of my adult life out there.
Graduated from Harvard?
What's that?
You graduated from Harvard, right?
Yeah, because I'm wicked smart, kid. No, I didn't go to Harvard. No, I went to a small school that nobody's probably ever heard of, Stonehill College, and then I finished up and graduated from UMass Boston. Was supposed to go and do the whole med school thing, decided it wasn't for me. Went back and got a master's degree in criminal justice with concentrations in counterterrorism and homeland security because I wanted to work for the government. I was looking to do ATF, FBI. Probably shouldn't say I wanted to work for the ATF, but it never happened. ATF, FBI, U.S. Marshals, DEA, ICE. That's kind of where I was oriented. Had some stuff going with the Border Patrol. Then the Border Patrol put a hiring freeze out, and I started instructing professionally. I've just, I worked in a gun shop in the interim, and people flocked to me, obviously, because my personality.
Good looks and good looks. Don't discount yourself there.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is even before I had a beard. And and some people said, hey, have you ever thought about teaching firearm stuff? And I was like, yeah, it's kind of not my thing. I would have to interact with people on a way closer level than I want to. But I did it, and it was fun. And I did the whole NRA kind of deal, and I wanted to step it up and do more advanced stuff. And I found Rob Pincus's combat-focused shooting program, so I put myself through that. And I was really attracted to that because aside from just the shooting and the tactical portion of it, there's a lot of science that goes on in it. And having a medical background, I was going into pre-med school. It really attracted me to it, and it was more than just shooting a target. It was what happens, kinesthetically, biologically inside the body, emotionally. All that stuff really drew me to it. Stuck with the program, was really successful with the program, and now here I am, currently in Oklahoma. I moved to Oklahoma December of 2013, and yeah, so here I am.
So, so that kind of gave us a background on downrange firearm training. So, do you teach classes all over? Do you do Oklahoma, Massachusetts, Boston area? How does it work? Where do you do trainings at?
I'm everywhere. I have one of my instructors, one of my best friends, and just super solid dude, Jimmy Peroni. He works for me back home. He still teaches a lot of the. In Massachusetts, we can talk about it later, but in Massachusetts, you need to have a gun license even to possess a spent piece of brass. So we do a lot of the CCW classes back in Mass, and when I'm not there, Jimmy does a lot of those. We do the Utah CCW class there as well, and some kind of home defense type stuff. I spend a majority of my time on the road. I think either last year or the year before, I was in 21 different states on 26 different ranges.
Jeez.
Yeah, I'm kind of like a gypsy. So, but it's not bad. It's afforded me the ability to kind of see the country, meet a bunch of really cool people. It's funny. Just people in the firearms industry and gun people in general. If you're kind of part of the culture, they're more than willing to open their doors for you, have you break bread at their dinner table. It's been pretty cool. It's been a wild ride. It's been pretty cool. I've met a lot of really cool, really, really good people in my travels. So. Well,
and that'd be a good time to mention like Paul Carlson, who we were talking about before the show. Awesome dude, and he'll be on the show sometime here shortly. But let's kind of jump into that a little bit here. So obviously you're in Oklahoma, and then from Massachusetts, obviously you go back there, gun shop and all that stuff. So Oklahoma to Massachusetts, there's got to be a dramatic kind of gun culture difference, we'll say, and mentality. And what's it kind of like traveling between those two states?
Complete opposite ends of the spectrum. Totally different worlds. It's funny. I joke around with people all the time that Massachusetts it might have been where freedom was born, but it's also where liberty went to die. It's true. A lot of my friends back home, none of them hunt. A lot of people that I know back home, they're like, "Oh, you hunt? Like that's crazy." And then when I moved to Oklahoma, it's totally different. Everybody hunts, and it's not just, hey, we're gonna go out and we're gonna shoot a deer and we're going to take the sheds and do whatever. We're going to shoot a deer because if we don't shoot a deer, our family's not going to eat this winter. And it's a totally just different, way more down-to-earth, simple culture that I've grown pretty accustomed to it, and I don't hate it. Every time I'm here, it's kind of like a vacation away from the hustle and bustle of the East Coast. So, but it's, yeah, dramatically different. Back home, Massachusetts is one of the toughest states to get a firearms license in, and then around here, it's like everywhere you turn, there's either a gun shop or a pawn shop or a sporting goods store that sells guns. So,
a lot of open carriers in Oklahoma, I assume too.
You can open carry. I honestly, I think I've run into it in the almost year and a half I've been here. Once or twice maybe. Not a whole lot. Not a whole lot. I've seen more of it in my travels in Texas and Arkansas, but not so much in Oklahoma. So maybe it's just where I live. I live about 20 minutes outside Oklahoma City in a little suburb, but not so much here. Maybe out in the western part of the state, but not where I am.
Okay. Now you were talking about Massachusetts with you have to have a license to have a spent casing, because we know how dangerous those are. What are the rules for getting a what do they call it out there? CCW, CCL, firearms permit. What's their name for it?
They call it a license to carry. It's an LTC.
Okay.
It's funny. There is something like, it's like a 500-page book of mass gun laws, and yeah, it's crazy. Nothing is black and white. Everything is gray.
So nobody knows the rules. That's always helpful.
yeah, that's the best part, So, for example, just to give you an idea of the lunacy of it, as a firearms dealer, I can't transfer or sell a customer a brand new Generation 4 Glock. All right? I can transfer and sell them a Glock that was manufactured prior to 1998. For whatever reason, the Glocks made in 98, I guess, were safer than the new Glocks. Now, there's no law in the books that says I can't do it, but there's a regulation. There's a consumer protection regulation that will prevent me from doing it. I could do it. The issue is if I get caught, I have to pay a $5,000 fine to the Attorney General for potentially endangering a consumer. That's some of the lunacy. You need a license to possess ammunition. You need a license to possess, not just a license, you need a Massachusetts license to carry, a firearms license, in order to possess ammunition, spent cases, reloading products, firearms, the gun. We have safe storage laws, which is messed up. So you legally can't keep a loaded gun by your nightstand.
Really?
Yeah. The gun has to be locked and stored separate from the ammunition in Massachusetts.
Even with a license to carry?
Yeah. Even
wow.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So just to give you an idea of what the communism that I dealt with for 29 years living there. So
now, do you guys have, obviously you guys have all like the magazine limits and all that stuff, I'm assuming, as well?
Yeah, Mass is still under the assault weapons ban, even though the assault weapons ban sunset in 2004, and that was the federal assault weapons ban. Massachusetts still has their own assault weapons ban. So, jeez. Yeah, so what we would call, you would call a standard capacity magazine, what we would call a high capacity magazine, because anything over 10 rounds is considered high capacity. It has to be manufactured prior to September whatever 1994.
So you see a lot of Bushmasters.
Yeah. A lot of Bushmasters, a lot of Colts, Olympic Arms. There's some pre-banned DPMS. PWA stuff. You know, it's crazy. You can't have any of the folding stocks. On anything new, folding stocks, bayonet lugs, flash hiders. Can't have any of that on any of the new guns. Everything's got.
But you can the old ones.
You can if it's a pre-94 gun.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming pre-94 a pre-94 AR goes for how much out there?
They start at about 1,500.
Okay. Dang.
So, yeah.
So, what is it like working in a gun shop out there? That's got to be interesting.
To say the least, yeah. It's one of the things too where the laws and the regulations really work against the gun shops and the gun owners, because Massachusetts has registration of firearms. So anywhere else, you fill out your 4473, you do your paperwork, and that's it. In Massachusetts, there's an additional form called an FA-10 form, which notifies the state police and the Criminal History Systems Record Board that you just bought a gun, and it notifies them the make, model, caliber, serial number, and whether it's high capacity or not. So it's not easy working in a gun shop. It's not that fun. Especially when you have to try to explain to a new gun owner that they saw I don't know, something stupid. They saw an FN pistol on TV or whatever, or on a show or on a movie. I really want that gun. No, you can't have that gun. Well, what do you mean? Well, the consumer consumption regulations in Massachusetts make that gun not able to be purchased. And they're like, but why? What's different from that than anything else? And it's silly. And all of the handguns that we sell have to be approved. They have to have a drop safety on them. They have to have usually a magazine disconnect on them, and anywhere from a 10 to 12 pound trigger pull if the gun doesn't have a manual safety. So that's another thing too. It's another expense, because somebody comes in and buys an M&P pistol. Anywhere else in the country, an M&P pistol comes with a 6 pound trigger pull. In Massachusetts, they're between 10.5 and 12.5 pounds. So I get calls all the time. Hey, Matt, you're a firearms instructor. I'm shooting low and to the left with this gun. Can I pay you a lot of money and teach me how to shoot it better? And I'm just like, yeah, you could, or you could bring it to my gunsmith, Business End Customs, give him $60, and he'll do a trigger job for you. So I guess I'm kind of a bad businessman in that sense, because I could take people's money all day long, but it's stupid, and it's unfortunate, because in my eyes it's not safe. They're doing it as a consumer safety thing. In my eyes, it's not at all. So
no, I'm assuming then you guys sell a lot of 1911s.
We do sell a lot of 1911s, unfortunately. Yeah, but they do. That 45's got a lot of knockdown power, and Sam Colt made it, and it made men equal with the 1911s. So
I'm assuming it fits the laws pretty well too, with the external safety, capacity.
Yeah, it's a safe bet. So
yeah. That's what I was kind of figuring. But let's kind of talk about that too, because it's something we talked about on the show before. And most people out there know that I work in a gun shop, and it's hard to explain what it's like to work in a gun shop to people, because they don't understand that, like, for some reason the majority of people, when they walk in a door in a gun shop, like, all firearm safety rules don't apply. Like, they just wave it around like, nobody cares. So I kind of want to talk about that and we'll talk about the dumb carry waste too, because I think that was actually a really good discussion. When I was talking about the flashbang bra holsters, for those who aren't familiar with, there was a story of a lady had one of those bras or whatever, which, by the way, didn't it win an award at SHOT Show of like best concealed carry holster, I think?
We won't go there.
Yeah.
We won't go there.
And then guess who won the outside the waistband? Serpa.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
It's like who donated the most to the banquet? Ah, okay, let's give them an award.
Yeah, exactly. But there was actually a really good discussion on Instagram. He made a post on Instagram. Again, I'm pretty sure I have his Instagram link down below. Go check out. He is Insta famous, so Matt has that going for him. But I want to talk about that. But working a gun shop, man. How and somebody posed this question to me, so I'll pose it to you. Of how long did it take for you for it to be literally become not necessarily okay, but accustomed to guns being pointed at you?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
I would say probably like after the 5th or 6th time it happened. The first time you're like, whoa, and it's scary. I mean, there's no other way to. It's scary. The second time, a little bit of the edge is gone. The third time, you're still kind of on edge. And then probably like the 4th, 5th, or 6th time, somewhere around there, you're like, yeah, there's a chance I'm going to go to work today and get shot. So, but
it is like that. And it's hard for, like, I tell people, like, like people carrying like weird positions and like, for some reason they'll carry like a loaded gun and a backwards shoulder rig that they walk around with a gun loaded pointing forward and all sorts of crazy stuff. Before the show we kind of talk about guns actually end up going off in gun shops for whatever reason of somehow a gun gets loaded, but it actually happens. And because some people think, okay, I'm walking into a gun shop, all these guns are unloaded, which majority of the time they are. But it's that time when we get complacent. That's when accidents happen, right? Yeah. So it doesn't matter if you're in a gun shop or at home or whatever. Those basic firearm safety rules always should apply, no matter what. Right?
Yeah. No. Absolutely. 110%. And like we were saying beforehand, it's almost like people walk into a gun shop and they feel like, oh, there's a group of gun guys here and we're all safe, so we can forget the basic firearm safety rules because we're above the law today because there's guns and ammo everywhere. So it's not good. Like I told you, there's a gun shop in Woburn, Massachusetts that I worked at for a long time, and there was an employee that had shot himself while I was working there, and more recently, another employee had handed a loaded gun back to a customer and put a round through the display case, and luckily nobody was hurt. But
and it's something I want to hit on here too, but I got to jump to a comment here on someone that's in the chat here from Militaristics. He says, people who work at gun shops have more guns pointed at them than Snoop Dogg has joints waiting to smoke. I thought that was pretty good.
Yeah.
But something I do want to kind of hit on, because I think it's kind of interesting, and I think this might actually help a lot of listeners out there, is kind of like a gun shop etiquette kind of thing of like, because you talk like like you can tell like when a new gun owner walks into like the gun shop, like right, it's obvious. So I kind of thought, if you maybe have like a list or some ideas or suggestions of recent gun owners, new gun owners, or and this can always apply to anybody, but of just some general gun shop etiquette rules. That might, if you know these rules, it's going to kind of help the process along of either purchasing or learning about firearms.
I mean, honestly, from my experience, what I've seen, from being a new gun owner myself, having zero knowledge, walking into a gun shop, and then working in a gun shop for a while, don't be afraid to admit that you don't know something. I would rather somebody come up to me and say, hey, this is my first time at the rodeo, and I have no idea what I want to do. You're being honest with yourself and the person behind the counter, and that's huge. So first, be honest, be upfront. Second, just because you have a friend or a family member or somebody whose mother's cousin's brother's uncle was a Delta Ranger SEAL, don't consider them a firearms expert. That is one of my biggest pet peeves. Oh, I have a friend and he's a firearms expert. Or when the firearms expert comes in and they go, yeah, I'm here with him. It's his first or her first gun, and I'm here to offer my expert opinion. nothing makes me want to reach across the counter and backhand somebody more than that. But again, just making friends. It's you have to remember that when it comes to firearms and firearm safety, the only stupid question is the one that you don't ask. And I think there's too many people that read too much stuff on the internet and think that that's it. They've opened the latest edition of Guns and Ammo magazine, and they watched Range Time with Corey and Erica. Oh, I went there. There were some sandbox habits, and they they think that they know everything because of that. It's unfortunate. And again, the other thing is too, ask your friends that have been buying guns for a while which gun shop to go to. There's a gun shop that it's one of the biggest ones in Massachusetts, and the owner is notorious for having a revolving door of employees. His motto is, my prices sell guns, and all I need is a warm body behind the counter. And in that instance, you may actually know more than the person behind the counter, and that's pretty unfortunate. So, if you got friends that own guns, and you can kind of get some intel from them as to where you should spend your money, that's huge too. But like I said, just be upfront and be honest, and admit what you don't know. If you've never shot a gun before, you've never handled a gun before, don't be afraid to tell the person behind the counter that. And if they scoff at you or they're not willing to help you, chop them in the throat and walk out. So.
Yeah, we are a pro throat chop show.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure that's clear. Something I tell a lot of people, like, again, I think you kind of hit the nail on the head there of if the shop does not have educated salesmen. I mean, again, I work in a gun shop. I'm not educated on every single gun because there's too many. I mean, do you know how many models of Kimber there are? Or SIGs? I'm not saying I know I can't off the top of my head name everything. Looking at it, okay, there's some basics, but I think if you can judge the sales staff, we'll say like Gander Mountain. I hate them. Their sales force is terrible. Most of them don't know anything about guns. You can kind of judge just based off of that. You can, okay, if their shop is bad, more than likely their prices are probably terrible. They're not going to really get you set up with what you need, with what your goals to accomplish are. And like I tell people is just go into a gun shop and just watch how they hand you the gun. I have a set rule where, here, we can do it live on the show right now. I take it out. I take out the magazine. Obviously, I'm going to rack around out right now. I lock the slide back. I set my mat down, and I set the gun like this, and I set the magazine out next to it. That's how I do with every single gun. That way, it's going to be visually inspected, that they can see it right away, and that's how we'll say transfer, because that's really what it is. Transfer a firearm from me to that person. That way, I know it's unloaded. I can see it. They know it's unloaded. They can see it. And I tell people, if the salesman doesn't do that, just turn around and walk out. Like, if they just take the gun out and say, here you go, walk away. Just get out of there. I think that's kind of a good way to judge a gun shop. What do you think?
Yeah, no, and again, like you said, you hit on Gander Mountain, Dick's Sporting Goods, Academy Sports.
Yep.
Unfortunately, a lot of the big box stores may have better pricing because they buy in volume, but you have to remember that they're usually paying a minimum wage employee, and if you pay peanuts, you get monkeys, unfortunately. But yeah, same deal is you could walk into a little mom and pop gun shop, and the guy goes and hands you the gun, and he doesn't rack the slide back and doesn't check to see if it's empty. He hands it to you with the barrel pointed to you. I mean, one of the things that we always do, or that anybody that I've trained, is drop the magazine, rack the slide. You see that's unloaded, you show them that's unloaded, and then you put it down, like you said, on a mat and slide it to them. This way, at no point in time have you pointed a gun at them or pointed a gun at yourself or flagged anybody else in the room. Because, I've walked into plenty of gun shops, and the guy behind the counter isn't flagging the person buying the gun, but the next thing I know, I look down and there's a Smith & Wesson bodyguard with a red dot dancing on my chest. The guy's showing how awesome the lazy beams are. So,
lasers. That okay. I do want to jump into that real quick here, and then we're going to jump into some fun stuff here. But I get that a lot of, and maybe you run across too. So many people like want lasers, and I get that eyesight and stuff like that. But something that, at least in my opinion, my humble opinion, that means nothing. A lot of people don't think that using a laser on a gun, most targets are not static like we have on a range. It doesn't stand there. So if a person is running sideways, are you really going to use the laser to shoot them in a self-defense situation? What's kind of your thoughts on lasers, man? That's something that I'm not totally on board the laser thing.
I think that a lot of people use a laser as a how do I say it? A poor way to gain accuracy. A lot of people are too lazy to work on the fundamentals of proper sight picture, sight alignment, stuff like that. But they figure, that's why I joke around, I call it a lazy beam, because they figure, well, hey, I have this laser beam on my gun, and wherever I point that, the bullets are going to go. So therefore, I don't have to worry about accuracy. I don't have to worry about the fundamentals. We call it the balance of speed and precision. When we're taking a shot, especially in a defensive situation, is wherever I put this red laser, that's where the bullets are going to go. And unfortunately, I've heard that a million times by people on both sides of the counter of a gun shop. And that's really the unfortunate part, is there's this kind of urban legend that if you have a laser, it's going to make the gun more accurate and you don't have to use your sights. Again, every situation is different, and to run down that rabbit hole, that's a whole other show. But it's one of the things where I think people use it as a crutch. They figure, hey, you know what? I don't need to aim. I don't need to aim at all. I'm just going to use this laser beam, and whether I shoot the gun, at full extension, from a compressed situation, upside down, behind the back, wherever the laser beam is going to go, that's where my bullets are going to go. And I think there's a lot of misconceptions and misguided knowledge that the laser beam it guides the bullets, because it doesn't. And again, there's the folks that may rely on the laser beam for a home invasion, when most home invasions occur at night. Well, guess what? If you don't know how to shoot during the day and the laser beam is washed out, you're shit out of luck. So, but no. I think it's a crutch for a training tool, and it's something that people want to rely on that they shouldn't, but they're popular and they're cool, and little old ladies like them, so they'll keep selling.
Well, excuse me, and I totally get that. I mean, I know there are special applications for it. I think a lot of people do the crutch aspect of that. So, kind of good to get your thoughts on there. But I think we're going to move in here to a little bit of fun stuff here. We haven't done this in a while, so we're going to play Whose Gun Line Is It Anyways? And in a second here, I actually have a little bit of a present for you.
Oh boy.
Have a little bit of a present for you. We're going to be having a special co-host for this segment. So he's going to be joining us here shortly.
Is it Corey and Erica?
I believe Corey was not available tonight.
Oh, he must have been. He's probably deployed.
He's in the sandbox, actually. So, yeah. But while we're waiting on him to join us here, we do have a couple audience questions here. The first one would be actually from a just recent guest on the show, and a soon to be in our EDC April. We have Brandon from No Attack. He has a question about, please ask DeVito how I'm not going to say that word. How I am supposed to be accurate with my sharks if I don't put laser beams on them.
Well, if the sharks, and by the way, Brandon is Uh, I'm Brandon. He's one of my favorite little short people from Louisiana. I love that little dude. Um, if the sharks are angry enough, you actually don't need the laser beams. So if you have that was the question, right?
Yep.
Okay, sharks. I just want to make sure. Because in Boston we call them shocks. So there's no but yeah, if the sharks are angry enough, then they don't need a laser. They use their sense of hate to find their prey.
We also need to mention a couple other people here. We got CWB out there, Mateo. We got your buddy Ben Harris, my buddy Ben Harris, out there in the chat as well. I know he had a question here. I'm trying to find it here. He says everyone knows that Gen 4 Glocks are extremely killy, and those folding stocks on rifles kills puppies on sight.
Mostly kittens, not puppies.
Oh, so you had that a little bit wrong there.
Yeah.
So we're waiting on our special guest to join us here. And hopefully he's coming here soon. And there he is right there. On time. We have Mr. Paul Carlson, who we just happened to mention earlier, joining the show, Safety Solutions Academy, which, by the way, is also a podcast on iTunes. You guys can check it out and download it. Paul, thanks for coming on, man. I caught about every 2 seconds, 2 little blocks of everything you said right there. Like a robot.
Paul, tell the Amish guy to spin the cord more. Paul is my favorite Mennonite. There he is.
Let's see if we can get...
All right, what do you think about that?
There we go.
Anything.
Yes,
Anything
we can hear you.
Yeah.
Nothing.
You can't hear us? We can hear you. We are having some technical difficulties here. It looks like he actually has a mic issue, not an internet issue, possibly. Can you hear us? We can hear you.
Awesome. I'm glad you can hear me. That is good news. I see that you can hear me. So how are we going to do this?
Can you hear us? No, you can't hear us?
Guess not. You know what's funny? I think Paul has more technology in his home than all of the Amish country put together. I don't know if it's allowed, but it's amazing.
While he's figuring that, actually, we had another question jump in here.
Okay.
So we'll do that here. Let's see here. We had another comment that I don't know if from Ben. I don't know if I can say on air. But we'll jump to Louds100. He says, Surefire X300 Ultra or TLR1 HL for duty use. What are your thoughts on that, Matt?
Personally, I don't use a pistol light. That's just me. If I had to choose, I use all Surefire handheld lights and Surefire weapons lights on my rifles, so I would have to go the X300.
Okay. Paul, can you hear us? You're back to roboting again. Yes. No. I think it's your mic. Can you just change the mic?
It sounds like a remix. It's a techno remix.
He's a
there
rapper.
We go. We got a built-in mic. What do you think about that?
Yes.
That's great.
Ah, awesome. Get rid of that. Beautiful.
All right, we're fine. We had now, in case this happens again, we do have a lot of people in chat that are recommending some different solutions here. We have sign language in chat.
Yeah.
Through smoke signals.
Very good.
Paper signs.
Well, I have paper with me, and so I'll get a Sharpie and we can write stuff out, and then it could be like on I live at the White House with my husband, and I can write signs and make change in society.
Hashtag campaign.
Yikes.
But so we're just going to edit this where it sounds perfect on podcast. So
right on.
Joining us as a special guest this evening, we have Paul Carlson from Safety Solutions Academy, which is also a podcast. You guys can go out there and download it. Coming on for we haven't done this in a long time, for a Whose Gun Line Is It Anyways? Paul, thanks for coming on, man.
Oh, I'm glad to be here, man. That's a great idea to have some fun tonight.
Yes,
Man,
absolutely.
I wish I would have thought of that.
So for those that aren't familiar, Paul Carlson knows Matt a little bit. You guys are knowledgeable of each other, if that's the most wrong way to say it.
You want to know why? You want to know how Paul knows me?
Please tell me.
I spent a weekend at his house in a room called the Awkward Room.
Oh, yeah, it was so awkward.
The awkward room.
Yeah, that was an awesome weekend. There is no doubt about it, and we'll talk a little bit about that tonight. I mean, I don't know that anybody else is going to get the references, but I think you might catch on to some of them, Matt.
Do you need me to intro everything, or do you got it all there?
Oh, I'm ready to rock and roll. We're going to play double action and single action tonight. We'll switch back and forth. Double action, just like in a firearm, when I pull the trigger and give you guys something to do, each of you will need to give me a response. 2 actions, get it? And single action, some of these will just head to Matt, just for one response from Matt. I'll give you kind of an intro into some of the different games we're going to play, and tonight, on my handy-dandy paper, there's actually writing on the front of it, or printing. Oh. This is going to be awesome. Here we go. Are you ready? Gunniography. That's our first little go-round tonight. This will be double action. And so what I will do is I will name a country, and you will give me a firearms manufacturer, something awesome firearms-related from that nation. That's where we're going to start. All right? So gunniography. Here we go. First country, Brazil. Matt, what do you got for Brazil?
Taurus, especially the Taurus curve.
Nice.
My personal sidearm of choice.
Outstanding. Nick, Brazil, what do you got?
Oh,
okay.
Taurus was the only one that I could think of. That was.
Yeah.
Were some Colts made out of Brazil?
No, that's Argentina.
Yeah, that would be Argentina. Yeah.
Oh, Argentina! Dang it.
Yep.
Man, I was gonna have to go with Taurus. That was my only one that I got.
We'll allow it. We can have some repeats. Just we'll go with you first next time. Make it harder
Taurus.
on Matt.
Now I do have to. Is Taurus an official sponsor of Downrange, or because I thought High Point had that locked down at SHOT Show?
It is. Yeah, I signed a pretty hefty contract with High Point, and the C9 is actually going to be the signature series gun. It's coming out in a mossy oak breakup, so it's going to be harder for law enforcement to see when it's ditched in the woods.
For who?
Cops, Paul. Cops.
Oh, got it. Just checking. Yeah, outstanding. All right, Nick, you're up. Japan.
Oh, jeez. I'm terrible at this. I'm going to lose this game bad because I do not know.
Well, the good thing is that the points don't count, so that's awesome.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, right.
You can also give me any points you want, too. So.
Okay, yeah. Well, 2 points for you. Good work. Matt, give me Japan. What do you got?
There are the Arasakas, the Nambus, bunch of different.
Just name 5 of them to make me feel really terrible.
Okay, Type 14 Nambu, Type 94 Nambu, Type 99 Arasaka, Type 38, Type 44. I think the Daiwo is Japanese. I'm not sure.
I think that's Korean.
South Korean, I do know that.
Minus 2 points. Minus 2 points for Matt. Yeah.
But Brownings are made there too.
Browning. Yep. Yeah. That's the big one that I was thinking about is Browning. And then of course there's all the military arms.
I should have got that.
Yeah. All right. So this one's a little easier. We'll throw it back to you first, Nick. Germany.
Oh God. Is Walther still made out of Germany?
I think so. I don't know. Matt's Walther, Germany.
People still use those?
Yeah. Nice. Nice. What do you got, Matt, for Germany? Something classic.
They are Germany. They are. I was right.
Nice.
What? Yeah, no, they're made in Maine. Walthers are made in Maine. Holton, Maine. Look it up. Smith & Wesson now owns them. True story. I mean, what do you want? There's the Mausers, there's the Luger P08s, there's the P38s, there's the Gellerherds. We can go
Beautiful.
on.
Belgium. Either of you jump in on Belgium. What do you got for Belgium for me?
Browning.
Yeah, the originals from Belgium, absolutely sought after, no doubt. Very cool. Austria, you got some choices there.
You can go first.
I'm just gonna call this. We should change the name of the segment to Nick does not know gun manufacturers. let's just do that. Let's just change the name of that too.
How about the U.S.? We're gonna stump Matt here in a second. I know Matt's got Austria locked down. No problem, right there. What about the U.S.? Give me a good U.S. manufacturer. What do you think of when you think of classic U.S. firearms?
Classic. Oh well, we mentioned earlier Bushmaster. Just
nice.
Classic.
Classic. What do you got, Matt? What's your favorite U.S. manufacturer?
You're going to skip over High Point like that? You're going to go straight
to Ohio, baby. Bring it. Ohio. OHYO. Anyways. All right, here's a stumper for you, Matt. I wonder if you're going to get this. Canada. You got anything for Canada?
Yeah. Canada made... Do you want modern or what do you want?
That's what I was thinking was modern.
Modern. Canada, America's hat. Well, they made
maple syrup. Yeah, okay.
Maple syrup. They did make high powers. There's the English high power. There are the Long Branch Enfield, which are Canadian. And then as far as a gun, I don't know. That's Canada.
How about Para Ordnance?
Oh.
They're done.
But yeah,
now they're owned by Remington.
They're getting shut down.
Yeah, it's disaster.
So do you think they're going to come out with the Para Ordnance 51?
Yeah, the Para 51. I think that's probably the way to go.
Or the
They've already got the box finished. They have the box and magazines already designed. They're going to do the gun later. It's going to be sweet. It's going to be sweet.
I'm looking forward to Guns Blast review on it.
Yeah, right, exactly. So what do you think about Russia? What's your favorite gun from Russia?
Keep going here, Matt. You gotta keep going here. At this point, this game should be let's find a country that Matt can't name.
I actually just got some nice Tokarevs from Russia and some Russian 1895 Nagants. There's the Mosin Nagant. There's the PPSHs, obviously the AK-47, the Avtomat Kalashnikov, the SVT-40s, and then there's FPS. Yeah, and then there's FPS Russia, who,
right.
I mean, he's a weapon in himself.
Absolutely. Yeah. That could go off at any moment.
Yeah.
So Italy, you got anything good for Italy?
Do you want to go, Nick?
I can name, well, because that's the only one I know. Benelli. There we go.
Nice.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say Beretta, but I guess Benelli works too.
Okay, then Beretta Franchi. There you go.
Oh, you're gonna throw 3 of them out there like that, huh?
Holy smokes, the guy's hot. He's hot.
Plus 10.
That's awesome. One last one. Poland. You got any designs, any quality stuff coming out of Poland, Matt?
There's guns that shoot backwards. Believe it or not, I just got a Polish Radom, a Radom 35, which was taken over.
That segment of the
35. The Polish Radoms were taken over during World War II during German occupation.
Cool. All right, new game. You ready for a new game? We'll stay double action in this one. This is called Top of the Class. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a category, and you are each going to name the best of in that category. What you think is the best. This is rapid fire. This is quick. You guys ready?
Go for it.
Here we go. Handgun. Nick, what do you got? Best handgun.
You want specific model or just manufacturer?
Specific model. Give me details, baby.
Glock 17.
All right. Matt?
Para Ordnance 1911. No. Smith & Wesson M&P 9.
Nice. Full size.
Yes.
Full size. All right. Card game. Best card game. Matt?
Cards Against Humanity.
Truth. What about Go Fish, dude?
Only if I'm playing against your daughter.
Exactly. Exactly.
I'm going to go with Pinochle.
That's a good game. I always win Pinochle when I play against my in-laws. That's whose place I'm at right now because my internet is worse, apparently, than ever. anywhere in the whole wide world.
I just thought you were a good decorator, but I mean.
Yeah, it's the antiques and stuff. I mean, my partner picked them out for me. It's awesome. Defensive ammo. What's the best defensive ammo?
Who's going?
I don't care. You
Winchester,
go first, Nick.
Winchester PDX ones.
All right, Matt.
Spear gold dots.
In 9mm, what grain do you like of the gold dots?
124 plus P.
Right on. I'm going to be interested to see the G2s coming out of Spear. I actually got a notification that somebody had them in stock, and I didn't scoop any up. I should have just to check them out. They're standard pressure 147s. I don't know. Interesting.
Haven't seen too many good things out of those.
Well, backyard testing, though, the Spear Gold Dot is a known penetrator. I mean, you look at the ballistic testing for Spear Gold Dot for eons, and we're talking about penetration sometimes, 30, 40 inches in gelatin, ridiculous penetration, and yet it's still one of the most carried law enforcement rounds out there. And so without talking to the engineers and figuring out what their design criteria were or was for that ammo, I don't know if they blew it or not. But I did see some of those tests that, that would indicate that it's going pretty deep.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. And breaking apart, too.
On new ammo, I've seen some the Lehigh defense stuff.
Yeah.
That stuff's pretty impressive in gel. Obviously, there's not a lot of it out there, but from what I've seen in gel stuff, I'm looking forward to getting some of that and to seeing how that works, especially with some intermediate substrates. So
yeah, it's the new ammunition. I like to see folks pushing the envelope, whether we're talking about Lehigh or the big manufacturers or Liberty. The problem is that until we get real data on any of those, everybody is leery about jumping on board, and that's the hard part is
right.
Oh, I should have said G2 rip ammo.
Yeah, R.I.P. baby. That's awesome. All right, favorite suppressor. What's the best suppressor out there? Top of the class.
Surefire SOCOMs.
What makes it awesome, Matt? I don't know crap about the Surefire SOCOM.
Dude, obviously it's used by operators. Hello.
We'll get to that.
Honestly, what drew me to it, everybody's got a quick detach now, but it's the one-piece can, so there's no baffles. You don't have to take anything apart to clean it. So that works for me because I don't like cleaning guns.
Yeah, I don't like cleaning anything.
Yeah.
I'll say
suppressors.
I'll say Griffin Armaments Sporter can that can handle 300 Win Mag. I think it's a Sportsman 30 Sportsman, one of those.
Oh, cool. All right, so you're looking at that from a hunting standpoint, or are you looking at 300 Win Mag as long range stuff?
300 bolt gun. That'll hopefully I'll get one of those to go on.
Right. Nice.
That's awesome can.
Yeah, if I could only have one caliber to be 300 Win Mag for sure, that'd be great. All right, so other muzzle device. We're not talking about suppressors, but something else you stick on the end of a gun. What's your favorite?
I'm going to go with my backdrop and go with the Lantac Dragon.
Okay. Maddie?
For muzzle brake, battle comps.
All right. Gun lube. Maddie?
Fire clean. There's something else out there?
Who knew? Nick, what about you, man?
Well, I would have mentioned fire clean, so not. You said CLPs. Are we sticking to just CLPs or cleaning products in general?
Yeah, cleaning products in general. I'll go with anything.
Breakthrough clean, hands down.
Oh,
breakthrough
nice.
clean.
Right on. There you go. Right up against it, Matt. I mean, coming from all sides.
I have to leave the show now, actually.
All right, so we'll keep you engaged, Matt. That was gun lube, personal lube, Matt.
You just spit on it.
All right.
I cannot top that. I will concede defeat on that question.
Best wing joint.
It's got to be with my boy Derek from Echo 5 down at Wings and Rings.
There we go. Echo 5, dude. 2 weeks, man. You and me, Wings and Rings. And one of our gals driving. It'll be awesome. Best beverage.
Ooh. Oh man. You know what? I'm gonna rep some Four Guys guns here. I'm gonna give a shout out to Whitey here. I am officially on board the seltzer water train.
Oh, nice.
Now I know a lot of people say it tastes like urine or hot garbage. I am officially on board of saying it's delicious.
Very cool. I like it with vodka a lot. But other than that,
they should make that in a can.
Yeah, right. Matt?
I mean, so I spent some time in prison, and I've still never tasted the urine or hot garbage thing. I mean, are we just talking just a straight-up beverage?
Yeah, well, anything, man.
Oh, okay. In that case, I'm going to go with something that Whitey from Four Guys Guns turned me on to as well, and it is the Lemon Pepino Gatorade.
I've never heard of that flavor.
What?
Don't ask. It's got cucumbers in it. Just go and try it.
I'm sticking with the White Monster, man. I was off Monster for like 6 months, and I had one the other day. It was delicious, Matt. You should try it.
No, thank you. I'm all set with any type of energy drink.
No, dude, it's good for you. It fortifies you, man. Minerals, all deposited in one lump in one.
I heard
place.
it also helps make beards grow.
Exactly. Right. All right. Best AR-15 manufacturer.
Who you going with there?
He asked you first.
Oh, you know what? I'm going to go out on a limb, and because best is subjective. That's a subjective term. So I will say the Smith & Wesson M&P 15.
Justify that. Let people know why you think the M&P 15.
I would say
best.
for the price, it's a good gun. It's reliable. It doesn't have all the features. It has good features, but mostly I think everybody out there will tell you it's a reliable gun. That if you're an entry level guy getting into it, you need something that you can get into and then upgrade later on. I think it's a great gun. Great AR.
Right on. Maddie?
I'm going to have to break it down into two different categories. Best piston gun.
Hold on just a second. Let me check the rules. It's allowed.
I hated piston guns for a long time. I love my PWS rifles. And then for something totally different, the Two Vets Arms, the side charger guns. I mean, it's something new, it's something different, and they're cool as shit, and they run hard. So
those are very cool guns.
Yeah, it looks slick. So what magazine are you putting in those rifles? Best AR-15 magazine.
I actually just got some Lancer mags, and they are effing amazing. So just done some preliminary testing with them, but they're pretty slick, and I'm looking to run them hard.
And those have got the metal lips on them, right, Matt?
Yeah, they do. Yep.
Yeah. It was interesting. I was at a booth at SHOT Show of another well-known magazine manufacturer that was raving about how good the Lancers are. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Nick, favorite mag?
X-Mag.
Yeah, there you go. Good. Fun new. All right, that goes that one. Here we go. This one is going to be a little bit easier for you guys.
All right, I'm going to go easy on you now, Matt.
There you go. The game is operator as Fooey or get you killed on the streets. I'm going to give you something, and you tell me if it's OAF or if it's going to get you killed. You ready? We'll start out with Nick. Morale patches.
Oh, operator. Hands down.
All right. Maddie. Typhoon.
Typhoon?
Yeah, man, the pattern.
Typhoon.
I believe it's Typhon.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's how much I think of it, because who cares? Get you killed on the streets, baby.
I think it's pretty. I mean, I think it's pretty operator, especially when you're doing the nighttime water ops. You know.
Yeah.
I
think
had
that last Wednesday though, and I didn't need it. I don't know. All right, Nick, running the slide overhand racking, operator or get you killed?
Ooh,
Let's
man.
talk about this.
Yeah, we just covered the subject. I hope Brandon's still watching because maybe he can provide some input in. You know what? I'm going to say, in a gunfight, seconds and milliseconds count. So I'm going to say it's going to get you killed. It's going to get you killed.
Going to get you killed. Maddie, how about that slide stop lever, man? Operator?
Overhand rack, man.
Overhand, why?
It consistent with every single gun that's out there. Think about how many guns people are carrying these days that don't have the slide lock on them.
There you go. Front sight focus. Operator, or get you killed?
Who's going first?
Go for it, Matt. You go first on
Yeah,
this.
Matt, you're up. Well, back and forth, back and forth.
Oh, see, I don't believe that you need a front sight if you have a lazy beam. So
On a shark's head.
on a shark's head.
Nick, what about unsighted fire? Operator, or gonna get you killed?
Say that again.
Unsighted fire.
Unsighted fire.
Unsighted fire. Operator, or
I'm assuming that's where you don't look, right?
yeah, eyes closed, completely closed.
Oh,
Blindfold.
that's operator, dude. You got to be. That takes years to achieve.
All right, Nick, 1911. Operator, or are you dead meat with a 1911?
Oh man, here comes the hate mail. You're dead. Dead. Stovepipe, first round, you're out of the gunfight.
Matt, Glock, is it operator, or is it cliche?
It's
Dead
operator.
is operator. Right on. Drop leg holster for that Glock, Matt. What do you think? Operator?
No.
Dead in the streets. How about plate carriers, Nick? Is that operator?
Oh, is there another way to be an operator? Can you be an operator without a plate carrier?
How many mag pouches on said plate carriers? What I want to know.
You need minimum of 16.
16. 8 in the front, 8 in the back?
No, just 16 in front. Double eights in front.
See, I run 4 in the back, upside down, so that I can draw them easier, and then another 4 like this, singles. It's
I never thought about
insane.
over the shoulder draw.
How about on that Smith & Wesson? You putting a bad lever on that thing? Is that operator, or is that going to get you killed?
Oh boy, that is a hard one because it makes the gun look cool. So
Uh-huh.
that's obviously the most important part about being an operator. But I'm gonna say it's gonna get you killed.
Wait, I thought milliseconds count, dude.
Yeah, but
Not with a rifle, though.
But you push it with the bolt
223
release
that
with
much
your thumb.
faster?
No, you're using the thumb on the slide lever and on the bolt release. So the thumb is the reoccurring thing there.
All right, so when you go in with that thumb, are you inhaling or exhaling?
Am I smoking or not?
Yeah, it depends.
Is it the whole thumb or just the tip?
Just the tip.
Okay.
Just the tip.
I would
Matt.
say, yeah.
Yeah? Okay. You're saying no on the bad lever.
Yep.
Bad lever is bad. All right, Matt, how about training at front sight? Operator or getting you killed?
Training at front sight with
Oh, yeah.
Iggy Pizza?
Yeah.
Oh, that's going to get you deader than dead. But you
So
make
then-
it real estate.
Yeah, good. Yeah, you might make big bucks. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Get a condo, timeshare. It'd be great.
Yeah.
Nick, how about competition shooting? Operator?
Oh, man. I don't know. But competition shooters generally use their eyes when shooting, and that's not very operator. So I'm going to say it's going to get you killed.
All right, there you go. Matt, shooting on the move. Operator or get you killed?
Moving how?
Probably in toe shoes.
Okay. So, like, advancing to a target, like you have a team of guys with you, but you don't?
That sounds operator, dude. I mean, just the way you said that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Think
It's
operational. We probably shouldn't talk about it anymore because we don't want to give away any secrets.
OPSEC.
This
OPSEC.
may be an ITAR violation. I don't know. All right, Nick, shouldering a SIG brace. Operator or get you killed and maybe even arrested?
I would say operators give 0 foos. So operator, hands down operator.
Operate. M855, Matt. Operator or get you killed in the streets?
It's only operator if it's in an AR pistol that you're shouldering with a SIG brace.
Oh, all right. Yeah, that completely makes sense to me.
Yeah,
Absolutely. No doubt about it.
Went there.
Nick, to you, mechanics gloves. Operator or get you killed in the streets?
Now, we had a discussion about this on Instagram. You actually you filled me with your knowledge deep inside. I originally thought mechanics gloves were operator. However, you informed me wearing those gets you killed on the streets.
Well, but what was it about the gloves that was the problem, Nick? I mean, it's not
It was
just
the white
gloves.
lettering. It was the white lettering.
You're going to be
It's just-
seen from miles away.
Yep. It's
Nope.
obviously mechanics needs to come out with a cryptic Typhon glove.
Typhoon.
Oh, Typhoon. Yes. Sorry.
Yeah, Typhoon. Matt, Top Shot Season 2 audition videos. Those get you killed in the streets, or those operator, man?
It was season 4.
Oh, season 4. My mistake.
That's okay. That's okay. And my heart breaks a little bit, and I just you hurt me with your words there, Paul.
For the record, I commented on that video today. I don't know if you know, but someone 3 months ago commented of what episode or how far did you go? And I let them know that you actually won season 5.
Yeah, I did actually.
He didn't go far enough to actually get on the show, but others did, so I guess that worked out then.
Oh my God.
What? I don't know. All right. Oh yeah, it's done. We're history with that one. All right, here we go. This one, I hate this movie, but this made me think of it, The Highlander. All right, there can be only one answer to this. Rapid fire, no justification, make it happen, choose the best, AR, AK. Nick.
AR.
Matt.
I don't understand the question.
Which is better? There can be only one. Which is the best? The Highlander.
AR or AK?
Yeah.
AK.
AK. All right, here we go. 9mm 45, Matt.
9mm.
Nick?
9mm.
5.56 or 7.62 by 51, Nick.
Ooh. 7.62 by 51.
Matt?
308.
Yeah, there we go. 1911 or the Browning High Power?
High power.
Matt? 1911.
See, I go with the high power with Nick. All right. Colt or Smith & Wesson? We're talking revolvers here. What are you going with, Matt? A Colt or a Smith?
Smith.
Nick?
Ditto.
I want a Colt. I mean, I have a bunch of Smiths, so I just want a Colt now. Matt, kids or tomatoes?
Tomatoes.
Tomatoes.
I'm getting dirty looks now. Thanks, buddy.
No problem. Nick, we'll go with Remington R51 or a can of spoiled tuna.
For a self-defense option?
Yeah.
I'm assuming I'm going to go with the tuna. I'm assuming if I open the can and leave it open, disease and infects. Slicing tool. I think a little more operator than the R51.
Yeah, probably that's the case. Matt, guns or women? There can be only one.
One woman.
All right, here's another one for you, Matt. Right to you. Christianity or Islam?
Christianity, I guess.
Oh, you did a really good job on those questions, Matt. You answered all of them very well.
Thanks.
Very well. You're welcome. All right, here we go. We've got another one to go. This one's going to be fun. You guys familiar with the IMDb, Internet Movie Database?
I think I made
the website.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, are you familiar with the Internet Movie Firearms Database?
No.
Yes.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. It's a good site. It'll tell you all the guns and all the movies. There's a new site that's up, and this is awesome. It's the Internet Movie Firearm Industry Database. And what this is all about is when you take a look at popular movies, it tells you which firearms industry personality should have been cast in some of the leading roles. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you guys the movies and the characters, and you're going to cast firearms industry personalities into those roles.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Sounds awesome.
We'll start easy here. Dumb and Dumber. Who is it from the firearms industry that should play Harry and Lloyd? This is a group conversation, so let's make it happen.
I'll jump in here first. I mean,
Yeah.
for me, I think answer's right in front of me. Why not you two?
Oh, nice. I like that.
I mean, you know.
Matt, you're driving the moped, buddy.
That's fine.
All right, cool.
Can I drive the Shaggin' Wagon as well?
Absolutely, no doubt about it. No doubt about it.
See, I think you would have to be Lloyd, Paul, because I think you could pull off the bull haircut better than Paul could.
Yeah, I mean, it's getting there, right? Just kind of pull it down, be good to go. I like it. Good call, good call, good call. What's that?
I said, who gets Petey the dead bird?
We can split it.
Okay.
It'll be fine. All right. I'm glad we got out of the way early, Matt. No repeats. So now this is going to get better. Cable guy. Let's just go with Chip, the cable guy. Firearms industry personality, podcaster, blogger, YouTuber. Who should play Chip?
It would be easier if I'd seen the movie more recently.
Cable guy, total stalker.
This may sound a little weird, but I don't know, for some reason it's just hitting me. FX Hummel. Because I think he could pull it off, I think. He's not maybe the stalker type, but I think, he's maybe a little eccentric. He could do it.
All right, I like it. Superbad. Seth. Who's playing Seth from Superbad?
Which one was Seth?
Seth was the main character, the
what's his
name? No, the heavy guy that's not.
Oh, the heavy guy. Okay.
No. All right, Pulp Fiction. Here we go. Vincent Vega. Who plays Vincent Vega from the firearms industry?
Get in there, Matt.
I don't know.
Dude, you're biting your tongue. You have things to say.
No, I don't know.
Jules. Who plays Jules?
Let's say I'll go with the former guest and say Jessica Hook.
All right.
Sexiness to her, I think.
Who's Butch the Boxer?
Butch the Boxer.
Who plays Butch? That's what's his name? Die Hard. Come on.
Yeah. Bruce Willis.
Yeah, thank you.
Bruce Willis. Who'd be good at Bruce Willis, Matt? Come on.
This game's way harder than I thought it would be.
Yeah.
It's way harder than I thought it would be.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think, Paul? Who is a Bruce Willis?
Who is a Bruce? You know who I put in as Butch? Derek. You brought up Derek a few minutes ago. Derek would be the perfect Butch, Matt, right? Right?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah?
Yeah.
How about Marvin? It's the guy that got his head shot off in the back.
Oh. God.
All right, Top Gun characters. You ready?
Oh.
Maverick. Who's Maverick? In the firearms industry, who's Maverick?
Costa.
All right. How about Goose?
Does that mean Haley's Goose?
I don't know. I was thinking that, or maybe it's Yeti that's Goose. Like Costa's wingman for a while. I don't
think Andy could plane though.
Yeah.
True. That's a good point.
I'd
C-130.
Maybe
in the back. I'd say we'll go with Haley as Goose.
All right. How about Iceman?
Cool, slick, and an ass. Let's see. Who would that be? Should we say Jaeger just to make it fun? Like, imagine that movie.
That's a good call. Jaeger is a good Iceman. I like that. How about Charlie? That's the chick that really ugly now.
Didn't she also go lesbian, or am I wrong on that?
I'm not.
Okay.
Wouldn't know.
Oh, I thought you put some research into this or something. Who would it be? Come on. I'll say one of the girls that the Red Army likes to parade around at SHOT Show.
There you go. All right. Let's end this with a bang here. Zach and Miri make a porno. Who would be the two main characters of that one, Matt? You got any thoughts on that? Take some range time to think about it. I mean,
that's what I was gonna do. Actually, I was gonna take a sandbox time out.
That's all I got, boys.
Wait, I can't go AWOL for that?
That was awesome. That was awesome, Paul.
It was something, man. It was something.
Oh, I can tell you, everybody in chat was loving it. Everybody in chat that was out there was jumping in on it too.
We should have pulled in their answers, man. I would love to hear what they had to say.
Oh, they were all over. They were all over this. A lot of people were rooting for Paul, it looks like. For you, Paul. I think a lot of people saying that you won that game. So, and I might agree with it. For that type of questioning, the guy that made up the questions wins, I think. So
I think we're all winners here today.
All right, I'm assuming my trophy's in the mail, right? Do we get a prize for this?
Ribbon of participation.
By the way, we totally missed it on the answers are coming in. There's a little bit of a delay, but for the Superbad, Adam P.
Yeah. Perfect.
Yeah, that would have been a good one, huh?
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect 10. I mean, it could be said about bowling.
But that's it for our Who's Gun Lines anyway. So, Paul, thank you for coming on. Why we got you on, though, because we talked about it on I don't know, a couple episodes ago, maybe 5 or 6 or so after SHOT Show.
Right.
We got to talk about why you're on. We got to talk about the Plan B while you're on, if I can harass you about it.
Absolutely.
A little bit about kind of where you're at, because we talked about on the show. I put the link out in the show notes on there. Where's Plan B at right now, and when are more coming?
Right now, it's sitting in limbo. Having some challenges with manufacturing and primarily just communication, unfortunately. And I've been reaching out to the manufacturer and saying, "Hey, where's this at? We're supposed to be shipping early March." Early March is coming up in a couple of weeks, I think.
Yeah.
And we don't have our production model yet, and it seems like it's just been put on the back burner. And so we're going to be making some hard decisions here this week, and probably making some changes as far as manufacturing goes and getting that done. Was today surfing the web looking for 3D printers so I can get a new model cooked up and get something ready to get to a machine shop that's serious about doing things and making it happen. And what's awesome is, we sold basically all 150 of that first run. We cut it off just short of 150, stopped the sale a little bit early just because I know that there are folks like you that wanted to get your hands on Plan B, and so I kind of held it back for some of my friends in the industry. And I have had only one person that said, "Hey, man, if it's not happening now, I want my money back." 145 base pads are out there and sold, and everybody's like, "Don't worry about it, man. We're in for the long haul. It's an awesome product. Can't wait to see it. We'll see it through to the end, make it happen." So we got a lot of support from the customer base out there. I'm really thrilled about that. But I got to tell you, I'm frustrated about the design process and actually getting it built. But we're going to get there. And the cool thing is I've had a lot of industry folks reach out and say, "Hey, Paul, if you need help, we can handle it. We can help you, or we know people that can help you. This has got to go through." So that's the best news about it, is that I've got so much support from so many people. There's no way that this project is going to stop. It's got way too much momentum now. And this is just another bump in the road. And there have been bumps before, and we'll keep on pressing through. And we'll probably throw on some mechanics gloves, white lettering or not, and just keep on rocking.
Awesome. I can't wait for the Instagram pictures.
Yeah, we'll put them up for sure.
But where should people go to keep updated? Because I know you got a landing pad website for that. What's the address?
Right now, if you just head to safetysolutionsacademy.com/Plan B, that's the place to check it out. It'll take you to a spot where you can dump in your email address. It'll let you know. We'll keep you posted on what's going on. I haven't sent a lot of information out there right now because I haven't had a lot of information. But like I said, this week we started updating all the people that have made purchases about the decisions that we're going to be making. And we'll be doing the same thing in the Plan B informational section. So head to safetysolutionsacademy.com/Plan B, drop in your email address. I'm not going to spam you. We'll just keep you updated on the project, and we'll go from there.
Okay, awesome. Well, again, keep an eye on that, guys. For if you own a Smith & Wesson Shield, you're going to want to keep an eye on Plan B, because it solves it solves a problem that the little sleeve on the extended magazine has. So be sure to check that out. So we're going to wrap it up here. So, Matt, first time on the show, how'd it go?
Good. I had fun. The surprise guest was definitely a surprise. That was good.
Well, hey, man, I appreciate you coming on, and same for you, Paul, man. I really appreciate you coming on and playing that little game. We haven't done that in a long time on the show. So
thanks for having me. I had a ton of fun, man.
Next time, you know what? I'll let Matt win. I think that I probably should. You know what? I'll be the gracious host and say, Matt, you won.
Thank you. I try.
Yeah. It's okay. You only crushed me and embarrassed me on my own show, but hey, it's.
I'm sorry. I guess I won't be back.
Oh yeah, you'll be back. We're gonna do a whole show on lasers, and we're gonna get you on. So
awesome.
But for everybody out there, please go ahead and check out This Week in Guns and the Gun and Gear Review podcast here on the Firearms Radio Network as well. And even though it's not on the Firearms Radio Network, you can also go check out Paul's podcast here as well, Safety Solutions Academy. You can check that out. I'll be sure to put a link in the show notes. You guys can go check out his info there. And then, of course, you can check out all the other shows on the Firearms Radio at firearmsradio.tv/iTunes. And also be sure to email me if you want to come on the April EDC show that I dropped at the beginning of the show. So, as always, guys and gals, we thank you for tuning in. We thank you for listening, as we greatly appreciate it. And we'll catch you guys on next week for another episode of Practically Tactical.